live.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another night of Rusea's Brothers Sisters Foundation, Inc., Brosis Empowerment Night. And tonight, we have a very important and interesting person, that person that I admire from when I was a child growing up. But first and foremost, let me just introduce also Mr. John Campbell. Mr. John Campbell is a person that actually won the Galloway Cup, right, John Campbell, for Rusea's High School. What year was that again? Was it 77?
Mr. John, you're on
mute, John. You're on mute.
All right, how I sound now? I'm with you now. Thank you, sir.
Yes. So as I was saying before, Mr. John Campbell, one of the stalwart in the Rusea's fraternity. John Campbell was he was our strength coach back in the 80s. So all those titles that you see we won back in the 80s at Rusea's High School, John Campbell was the man who actually, give us some strength training, and actually first class strength training as well, because actually he went to GC Foster College and he came back with some first class, physio treatment and also physical training as well, and weights lifting. So John Campbell, welcome. We have our IT guy, Mr. Norwin Phillips and Carlin Stewart in the background. Viewers from USA, England, Canada, and Jamaica, welcome to the Rusea's Brothers Sisters Foundation, Inc., Brosis. We have a very special guest tonight. His name is Robert Shrimpy Skipperdan Young. Welcome, sir.
Well, I'm humble, sir. I'm humble.
Yeah, so tonight, John and I, because I think both of us know you pretty well. But before we start off this program tonight, it's with heavy heart that we're going to start off this program, because actually I need a 5 to 10 seconds minute of silence, because actually 2 of our board members lost their loved one this week. Our secretary, Ms. Shauna Dunkley, and our stepfather passed away this week, and our architect guru. So you'll see this 3D version of actually the state-of-the-art children's facility that we're trying to build at Rusea's High School there. And he was the man behind the scene actually doing all the work down there. Mr. Glaswin Corey-Brivitt lost his mom this week. So condolences goes out to both Shauna and Glaswin Corey-Brivitt. So from the Brosis family. But also one of our panel guests that was supposed to be on tonight, Mr. Linton Kong Stewart. Sorry he couldn't make it tonight again, because actually he have an emergency. His mom is currently in the hospital as we speak. So let's pray for a speedy recovery. So, not so good news, but hopefully we can shed some light on a lot of positive things in regards to the life and upbringing of Robert Shrimpy Skipperdan Young. Skipper, tell me a little bit about where were you born, sir?
I was born in Lucy Hospital, January 15th, 1952.
And tell me a little bit about your parents, because most of us, we might know you, but they don't know the strength and power of both your mother and father, who was very instrumental in the Lucy era. Not just Lucy, but Hanover and Western Jamaica.
Well, my father was the most famous Ronald Young, because he was known all about town he was the man known that made me what I am today. So he saw the vision to send me to Kingston to attend a high school up there.
So
And my
tell the audience what school you went to in Kingston, because everybody thinks that you're a country boy, So let them know exactly, let them know which school you go to. Because
I went to Jamaica College from 1964 to 1968.
So John, did you know that, John?
Yeah, I knew he went to JC. Yeah, I know. Well, at some school in Kingston, I think I may have heard that before.
Yeah, of course,
But somehow I thought you were also at some point doing some time at Rusea. I don't know. I had that in the back of my head.
Well, I came down to and went to Rusea from 1968 to 1969 for 1 year.
Right. That is what
Where
I think
where
I would have heard that somewhere along the line. Yes.
where I played with the former headmaster, Mr. Cecil Miller, and your former head coach, Mr. Emerson Henry.
All right, so you're knockheads with the great Mr. Colin Miller and Mr. Henry. So tell me what it was like, going to JC at the time.
Well, to tell you the truth, I was in awe all the time, because going to JC, coming from country, going to JC, boarding at JC, I was looked at as a country boy trying to make things right, So my former captain, which is who captained the side 1968 for us to win, for JC to win the Manning Cup, he took me up on his shoulder and started to train me. I was boarding at the time, so we were training right behind boarding school. So that's where I started learning my profession, which is football.
Yeah, I want to kind of jump in, Robert.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, peel back a little bit more. Prior to JC, what was your early introduction to football like? I guess now in Lucy, what was the environment like in terms of football? In Lucy, and were you exposed to football in terms of competitive football during that time? What was it like then?
Before that time, I wasn't. I used to play. We used to play pickup. What kind of cricket we call? Catch a shobe.
Catch a shobe. A long time I don't hear that terminology.
Catch a shobe. That's what I was a cricketer, and I was a my introduction to football was through the Reverend, we call him.
That's Walter.
Yes. When Walter,
Interesting. Yes.
He had a team at those times, so I used to watch them, and that was my introduction to football in Lucy.
So was there any kind of competitive football going on at the time? And if so, what was it like? What was it, and what were the teams involved at the time, during the time when
Well,
Reverend, yeah.
that time there was rectory, and there was the next side where what's his name?
Avengers,
No man, not Avengers.
Zodiac.
No, that was
Oh,
long before. Hotspurs or something like that.
yeah, Sydney Hotspurs, where Jocelyn Chambers,
Right.
lady,
And Cutty and those guys.
yes, and Cotty and those guys used to play. That's
Sonny Bulla say I'm a big baller. Sonny Bulla ain't no
who?
big baller.
Who? Johnny
Sonny
Bulla.
Bulla for Hotspurs, man ain't no big baller.
Johnny Bulla, him used to play. Let's just put it like that. I mean, his standard was not very high, so let's just leave it at that. All right.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Because there was time where the hard football boots,
Yeah.
you know, where you, if you kick a man with it, you know him well kicked.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So skip on Dan. So before you go to JC, so what primary school or what school you went to before you go to JC?
I went to all the schools. I went to Miss R, Miss Steer, and went to there was that school going up to where thing there is what's the name of that school again?
Not Lucy Primary.
No, I went to Lucy Primary too.
Okay.
Lucy Primary.
That up Miss Clearway.
Yes. No, not Miss Clearway.
That's close to you, John.
So we went all the school them in Lucy.
Oh.
I exhausted the teachers.
There's something I need to ask you, Robert.
Yes.
Because in previous programs we have spoken about the impact of Reverend Walter, not just in football, but certainly in sport development in the entire parish, perhaps, or in the entire Western Belt of the island.
Mm-hmm.
What is your experience in terms of his inputs, his impact, his influence, during the time when you were a kid, when you were a youngster?
Well, he was very influential in the HFA. He was the president at one time, where all things came through him. Most of the things came through him, and he developed football up to his standard, and he was very instrumental in letting the boys come to rectory and play tennis, play on the court, football, everything. He was very instrumental in that. I must say that. I must recommend him for that.
Yeah. So John, just between you and Shrimpy, just tell the audience exactly who was Reverend Walters. Because in a nutshell, because a lot of people, I see Skipper just give us a little synopsis of exactly who he was, but he was very influential in Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
And when he developed that team called Rectory, he brought up, he take a lot of people out of a lot of situation. So both of you, just give me a little brief, memory, go down memory lane with Mr. Walters and the impact. And we're going to go down further, Skipper, down in regards to Rectory and Negos rivalry. Because I know Ayat is probably listening and Isla is listening and a lot of those guys. Probably Nash is also listening. So, you know, let me before you answer, John, before you go, you and Skipper, I want to tell people how great Skipper Dan was. And we'll go into that later on. But when you hear about Robert Shrimpy Young back in the days, right? Anybody from Montego Bay, you remember Alcock?
Yeah.
Remember Creature?
Them
Remember
that.
Noah?
Those.
Zara from Rectory. So
Yeah.
whenever any major football tournament is playing in the Western Jamaica, Robert Shrimpy Young name always mentioned alongside those guys. So whenever the rivalry was there, Skipper Dan was always there. So I just want the audience to know exactly the icon figure that we're speaking to tonight. Go, John.
All right, well, let me start. I'll just give just a brief thing, and then Robert can fill in. But so Reverend, well, Alex Walter actually came from Mauritius, which is a little island off the coast of Africa, you know. And he went to England. He was trained as a parson, as a reverend, and he came to Jamaica to, you know, well, to head the Lucy Anglican Church, the parish church at the time. You know, but he was a sportsman from way back in the days, you know, from before he came here. He was an avid sports person: football, cricket, lawn tennis, table tennis. You know, he was a true sports person. And he came here and established certainly the Rectory Sports Club. And of course, he was a reverend for the church. So he used sport as a kind of tool and as a kind of honey to attract persons like myself into the church, because we grew up in the church, you know. So he used sport as a kind of tool, as a kind of honey to attract us to the church, within the arms of the church, which we and of course our parents, you know, would have been there as well. But yeah, so he started a very vibrant youth club as well. And every Friday there would be this youth club where you would play dominoes, ludo, draft, chess, lawn tennis, even boxing. I think we did at one point. You know, he was very much into the sports and arts too, because we used to have concerts where we do acting and playing this and learning that, singing in a choir. So it was a very vibrant environment for youth learning and youth development, you know. But perhaps Robert can tell me more in terms of, you know, his input in the development of football at the parish level, because you told me that he was the president of the Hanover Football Association. Maybe you can delve some more into that and what it was like then, you know, Robert.
He was the president. He was everything in that association. So he ruled with an iron fist.
Right. So in a nutshell, Troy, that was the essence of the person, you know. He was the first man who make us play under lights. Football under light. From long ago we were playing under lights, you know.
Yeah. And it was a disciplinarian, because actually you couldn't walk on that court with no hard shoes.
Right.
Or what you call back in the days, gentleman shoes.
Right.
You know. All right, so let's go back. So we have St. Ryan Steel in the house. St. Ryan Steel, blessing Brosis Nation. Then you have St. Ryan Steel. Big up Skipper Dan, the man who introduced me to Division 1 football. Also the man who buy my first football boots playing at that level at Negos United. So one of my former player, first class chef, former captain, Oliver Shield and Dakar Cup champion, St. Ryan Steel, said you was the first man who bought him his first football boots. So I just want to acknowledge you tonight. Lloyd Campbell says, good night, Brosis family. Mr. Kenwood Connell, a former teacher at Rusea High School, he said, Robert, what motivated you to become a founder member of the club football in Lucy land? Okay, let me just read it because my eyes are getting bad. He said, Robert, what motivated you to become a founder member of club, the need for club football in Lucy today. So he's asking you, how great is club football in Lucy now? What would you do to bring back all of that? Because currently, as you know, as we speak, there's nothing going on in Lucy, right? And you pour your heart and soul into it. I know personally, John know that personally. So we're letting the people know because we're playing homage to you tonight of the great things that you have done for Lucy and for Hanover and for football in general. So Mr. Campbell Connell is asking this question. So what will you do to bring it?
I got to acknowledge, the first person I got to acknowledge here before we go any further is Mr. Michael Kelly. He's the one that started the Corner League, right? And when the Corner League was going on, I said to him, we can develop this into a much bigger competition, like, have more teams and get more teams to play in a Division 1 competition. He went along with my suggestion, and we formed Johnsontown, Esha. We formed around 5 teams in Lucy. Negos, Central, Zodiac, Rectory. You hear? But those are the 4 outstanding teams that we formed. And from then, that's when I became for 1 year 70. I think I don't remember the year exactly, but I became president. I took over from the Reverend Alex Waters, right? And I became the president for 1 year and we got Sandy Bay involved too, and Hopewell. So we had 7 teams in all in our competition. And next, we got sponsorship from, at first, we were, the Dr. Harris Chang was sponsoring the main competition, and then I met a former, someone that I knew working at Sanders Negril, and he suggested to me that why don't he sponsor this competition? So I said, thank you, sir. I would appreciate that. And Sanders Negril has been sponsoring the competition until these guys, the big wigs, gave away. I must say gave away, because after all the hard work getting them, then to lose them, not sponsoring you again, Sanders Negril, is a big team. And then we had them coming into the commission, him coming into the commission, Green Island, Cardwell, you see how many teams, Lagwood.
Yeah. But let me jump in here, Robert, because I hear you mentioning sponsors, but I seem to recall the major input of, I want to say, Young's Enterprise, in the form of your father, who would have pumped a lot of resources into the development and the sustenance of football across the parish. In fact, I remember we, as youngsters, Zodiac United, winning the Ronald Young Cup at one point. So tell us a little bit about your family support.
Well, the Ronald Young Cup was my father was instrumental in. It was a knockout competition, and he was responsible for making a donation toward every year, given to Alex Walters.
Right.
That's one of the competition that we used to hold 2 or 3, and then when I came in, I started to do a Division 2, and then after that, Bobo Chai can be a testament to that.
Mhm.
I started the under 12 under 12
Tournament. Mhm.
tournament where we had Party and Linton,
Spiggy and Linton and Lodi and those guys. Yeah.
not every all of those guys, right? Started to go out to Montego Bay to play teams and such the like. So that is part of the history, you know. And I don't want to blow my horn, but I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that from my left.
Yeah.
You know.
No, it's important that you toot your on because we're tooting it for you tonight, Skipper Dan. You know, we're tooting because actually, me personally, and the Rusea's Brosis Foundation, and along with Mr. Campbell here, we want to acknowledge you and pay homage to you and your family. You, not just Sissy and the girls and the boys, then, but also Mr. Young, your father and your mother, because actually a lot of times when the Rusea's footballers never have no food at camp, you provide that. Your parents provide that year in, year out, without any question. So we just want to say a big thank you to you for doing all of that and more, you know, John.
Yeah, right. Another thing that kind of popped at me again as we talk here, you know, but is that you have described a kind of very rich football / learning environment during the time, you know. Alex Walters, your father's input and all of that, you know. What prompted you to start a new team? You had about 5 teams going on. What prompted you to start or rather, I don't know if it's you who started, but I know you're at the helm of it. But what prompted you to get involved in a Negos? Why not a Rectory?
Well, listen, what that
thought, Skipper Dan. Hold that thought. We reached the half an hour mark. Now in Phillips, we have some special event coming up because, as you know, the Brosis Foundation is on a mission. And we are young at heart, 4 years old, but actually the project that we just started this January, we reached 1 year, right? So currently the building is up. Actually, the project that we just started this January, we reached 1 year, right? So currently the building is up. Actually, the project that we just started this January, we reached 1 year, right? So currently the building is up. Actually, the project that we just started. So this is January, we reached 1 year. Currently the building is up. Actually, the project that we just started. So this is January, we reached 1 year. Currently the building is up.
It seems like we're having some
technical difficulties.
Yeah, but I could fill in here, Troy. So this is seems like we're having Easter fish fry that we'll be having. It will be on March 29th, right? So this will be at 3458 Boulder Avenue, Bronx. Will be in New York. And you see the zip code here, right? All proceeds that are generated from this will go towards the development of the Colin Miller Sports Complex. All right, so we're not selling, we're just asking for a donation. And the 2 options that we're offering you are the small pan of fish, which is $50, and the large pan, which is $100. You could put your order in at the numbers that are shown at the bottom here. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit to see if it makes it a little bit more legible. I know we are. Right, so you can get in touch with Troy Malcolm on WhatsApp. You see the number that's there. There's also Spuddy, Carlene, and Michelle. right? Again, pickup time begins at 11:30 a.m. and this is on March 29. So we need your support. We need your dollars. This is for a worthy cause, and we're looking for just overwhelming support, right? Call ahead, put your order in ahead, therefore we can have your fish ready and have enough ready so we can generate some funds to move the project along. Right, and the other announcement here that we're promoting, it will be the Memorial Day weekend colors party and fish fry. And again, you know, this is all the proceeds are going to be going towards Rusty's High School. We have highlighted here for the development of the Colin Miller Sports Complex, but also other initiatives that we're doing at Rusty's, right, which does take money. So we will gear some funds towards that, and this will be held here. So it's day 1 and day 2. So I'm seeing here Saturday 25th of May at 5 p.m. That's the meet and greet, and then day 2, which is the Sunday, starts at 1 p.m. until ... You say when, right? So again, it's a donation. We have fish, pork, chicken, $30 donation. If you want to give more, you're always welcome to do so, but we're going to accept a minimum of $30. And again, you could contact the same supporting cast, which is Troy, Malcolm, Spuddy, Carlene, or Michelle, and the numbers are located there at the back, at the bottom of the screen. Kind of just blow that up so everyone can see it. All right, so in addition to that, we have a little video here that we want to share showing the progress of some work that we're doing there. And it does have voice to it, so I'll kind of keep quiet while I share the video with you. I'll ask the guys in the other side to see whether or not they're hearing it. So let me just take my speakers off mute and then see if I could hear it on this side.
I'll ask the guys in the other side to see whether or not they're Hello, everyone. So let me just, in association with Rusea's Brothers off the Foundation.
Are you guys hearing the voice, Troy?
Share some progress with you.
Yeah.
On the development of the state-of-the-art changing facility for Rusea's High School.
Are you guys hearing the voice?
The completion of this facility will serve as a critical...
Are you hearing the over...
for Rusea's High School to generate revenue through hosting important events.
The volume
Can then be reinvested across the school in
There you
support
go.
of its educational,
So sorry, guys.
sporting,
It's good
and
now,
cultural
Larry.
programs.
I'm going to start it from the top again.
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
In association with Rusea's Brother Sister Foundation, I'm excited to share some progress with you on the development of the state-of-the-art changing room facility for Rusea's High School. The completion of this facility will serve as a critical instrument for Rusea's High School to generate revenue through hosting of important events. This revenue can then be reinvested across the school in support of its educational, sporting, and cultural program. As you all know, the groundbreaking ceremony took place in December 2022 at the construction site. The groundbreaking ceremony was highlighted by our principal and leader, Mrs. Donna Anderson. Also in attendance was our illustrious coach, Mr. Emerson Diggy Henry, Member of Parliament, Ms. Tamika Davis, and a host of other outstanding Rusean and supporters. This video showcases various stages of the construction we have completed so far. This include a virtual end-state design, the ribbon cutting, the preparation and pouring of the foundation, as well as progress made at different stages of the building process. We will continue to provide updates as we move forward on this journey. To make this project a reality, we need your support. Please remember visiting www.ruseasbrosis.org to make your donation.
All right, so I'll stop sharing now, Troy.
Yes,
So
sir.
everyone, as you see, that's just an overview of some of the work that we're doing. So your support is needed. All right. And we have these events, you know, to really get the funds that we need to push the project along. So any support you, your friends, your family, your associates can actually provide to us would very much appreciate it. It's all going for a good cause. Back over to you, Troy, in the studio.
Thank you, Norwin. Excellent work. And ladies and gentlemen in the audience there, as you can see, you know, the Brosis Foundation, we're no nonsense foundation. You know, we're action packed and we want to make a difference in the students' life at Rusea High School. But not only just the students of Rusea, we want to ensure that the whole entire community, the whole entire parish get back to basic, because we should have a first class facility down there at Rusea High School. And it's about time we do that. So the Brosis Foundation, we started that, and that's what we're aiming for. So please, we need your support. So if you can donate building blocks, sand, stone, cement, steel, we're more than welcome. Right, so let me go back to the chat. Steve Tikaros Edwards, Skipper Dan, bless up yourself. Real boss. Arlene, Michael Kelly, great teacher and one of the best educators. We'll always remember. Arlene again, always looking forward to Sundays at Watson Taylor Park with Skipper Dan. Yeah. Ginger, yes, Skipper Dan, bless up yourself. Dave Johnson, that I bring in a Skipper. Enough respect. So you know you're Briggy go way back. You know, so yeah. Briggy's on, yeah. So yeah. All right, I think John was asking about why Negos, right, John?
Yes, right. Yes, yeah. What, yeah.
Yeah, but before John, before you even ask him why Negos, how was Negos formed? And where did you get the name from?
Yeah.
Well, before I start about Negos, we at that time we had you see that Avengers picture I sent you?
Yes.
Right? We had Avengers. So Avengers going along, and enough attention was not being paid to the footballers. That's how Negos came in now. So between me, when Kana, we call him Kana.
Yeah, Owen Clark.
Owen Clark, and we used to have a guy named, him used to live. I forgot his name, man. Jesus.
That's all right. It will come back, man. Let's keep going.
The three of us sat down and we decided that why don't we form a side that will, you know, we can focus on it, and you know, that's how Negos came about. Now the name was the name, if you know Negos is kings. Negos means kings in Amarak. So when everywhere we go and they hear the name Negos, you know, people say we're gonna get that name from Negos, Kings United. That's what we were. So that's how it started.
So let me jump again. Let me ask, because I have some burning questions. You know, so how were you able to recruit? Because how were you able to recruit players, to a Negos, to a newly formed club like Negos? Because obviously there must have been a pool of talent all around.
Most of the Avengers people came over to us. And
like who from Avengers? Name some of the players from Avengers. Was Clark? He was one of them.
Clark, he was one, but him go from Central.
Okay.
Clark, we had quite a few. Mm-hmm. And then we had some new ones too. Toby, and Lawi and all those guys were there standing around, not doing anything.
Okay.
You know, so
Yeah.
I recruited them, and we said, all right, we start training, because at that time there was this all dread football team from Kingston named what?
House of Dread.
House of Dread.
So I went up there, and you know, and the man Alan Skillcore was one of the coach, and I trained with them around 2 or 3 times, and they liked how I train, but I gathered some stuff from them, which was how you training, what you do in training, and all that good stuff. So I came back down and I started implementing it. That's how Negos was formed.
But Skipper, because I have two other guests that just came on a while ago, and they are familiar with you, and one of them was your right-hand partner in the midfield / forward area, the great elastic man.
Yes, him came on.
So I had to just join the chat, Paul Miller, and he was saying, could that I think the guy name that you couldn't remember, he was saying, is that guy Hero?
Hero, yes. Hero.
Right.
Thank you.
And Miss P just joined the chat as well. He said, Skipper, I thought it was a Rasta thing. So that's what all of us thought, even including John, right? So let's get to the nitty-gritty of the whole thing, because actually Negos, we used to look at Negos as a Rastafarian team.
Yes. No, it was three. It was 3 Rastaman that formed it, that formed the club and named it.
Okay.
Me, Hero, and Kana. Right? So that's how it developed as a Rastaman team then.
But certainly, Robert, any new football team organization would take a lot of funding. You must, how are you able to fund it? Because some of these guys, I'm sure, were working on it. How were you able to fund a new, fresh football team with youth? Some of them unemployed. How were you able to fund it?
Most of them are unemployed. What I did, what we did then, we started having some fundraising stuff. We raffled the goat. We we had sessions. That's how we made our money.
Okay.
And
who was the coach back then? Who used to coach you guys back then? Who used to coach Negos back then?
I was coach, skipper, and everything. Coach, skipper.
Player coach. Player coach.
Whatever it is, I am. Anyway, what we did, and Negos people can attest to that, was that we formed a club, a right club, and we were throwing dues. We had Nash as the president, Toby as the treasurer. I forgot the secretary. But anyway, we had a formal everything, and we were running. Every meeting we had, we threw dues, and that's how we made money.
Yeah.
And to be able to be fun. Well, I mean, if they were short, I've been the manager or whatever. I put in my 14. So that's how we became. That's how we are.
Sustained.
Exactly. So
Because, because for for the people who don't know exactly what the culture was like, in Lucy at the time, it was vibrant. John. Vibrant meaning that whenever a game is going to be played at Watson Taylor Park,
between
Rectory and Negos. And I can recall when Negos, what everybody called the Rastaman team, or what they call it, the downtown team, and Rectory known as the uptown team. So Negos, you just see the man with the kete drum, the chalice and the beating, and so a lot of people were attracted to them. So tell us a little bit about the rivalry between Negos and Rectory at the time.
Well, it was a friendly rivalry because what happened one year, I was still playing for Avengers those time. Trevor, I don't know. I think you know Mr. Craig. He came down. Vietnam came down, and all the man them gone to Rectory. Toby, everybody, Fippany, everybody gone, and Dexter gone to Rectory. So left us with a depleted team, left Avengers with a depleted team. So I stayed with Avengers, played them, and they won. They beat us and won, and went to that time Premier League just started.
Criminal League.
Yes, National League they call it that time. And that was around 74, 73, 72, because Rectory was playing Premier League. I saw Santos. Santos came down there.
Yes.
To Watson Taylor Park.
Right.
To go to Thompson. Playing Zara.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then we had a very vibrant Hanover football team. St. James couldn't beat us. We went to finals with guess who? Kingston and St. Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Playing at the National Stadium under lights with Everton. Everton
in the goal.
In the goal.
Everton Smith, no?
Yeah. Big keeper that man. Big keeper. Yes. Big time keeper man. That.
So we had a vibrant team. We went to Westmoreland and give Bim and them 10 love. We had a very vibrant Hanover team with Zaro, all of these people,
So the big rivalry, I'm gonna let you come in, John, but the big rivalry used to be between, they used to say Shrimpy versus Zaro. When that was Negos, right? So it's Shrimpy versus Zaro, it's Ayat versus Trug from Rectory. So tell us a little bit about the rivalry between you and Zaro. I know it's a friendly rivalry, but when game time come, it was a no nonsense thing.
Yes, man. We played our best, and I can remember when we won to go to Premier League 74, 75. We played Rectory and gave them tool zip because we trained and we had this, we wouldn't let them beat us again. It was real rivalry. And we advertised the matches, when the match came, everybody was down there. Without
orange man.
Can you imagine that? Like how people when a match is gonna happen, we're going to play this and that. We didn't even say nothing to nobody, but down there full. Park was full.
Yeah. Including the Kid Man and the Orange Man and the Peanut Man.
Yes, man, everybody
Yeah,
knows
man, everybody was
about.
making.
Yeah,
John, go ahead.
It's an economic activity.
Yes.
Interesting, eh?
John, go ahead, John.
Yeah. I just want to kind of sidetrack a little bit because here we are talking about Shrimpy as a footballer / sportsman. But Robert needs to tell us about his other artistic side. Because we need to hear, and maybe if we're lucky, might even get a demonstration of a song or two.
Yeah.
But this one was also a founding member of a very vibrant trio.
Yes.
Performed on stage shows and so on across the parish.
Headliner, man, headliner.
And they were called the
Black
Velvet, you know.
Yes,
So we look at a multi-talented individual sitting in our pits here, you know. But you can probably give us a little light on that, you know, why the deviation to music? You know, what was going on at the time what was in the environment that prompted that? You know?
Eddie had a disco, and you know, we used to follow Eddie all over the place. And Rusea had a disco, and I used to be backup to Flashman. Flashman was the DJ at that time, and I would help him out by playing first and then let him come after. Anyway, my singing capabilities now came about. Michael Kelly had a concert with Light of Saba.
Cedric
So,
Brooks.
yeah, they came down at the same Russies, and there wasn't much people there, but Igel came and sang, and me and Frankman was the real singer, so we said, all right, we're gonna do 2 songs. So we went up there with the message to Martha, and we did one of our original songs, which was I'm a Man. And the people loved what we did because the bass guy gave us a bass there that it was real dub style that time. And that's how my singing abilities came about, sir. And we were doing that long after, you know.
Yes, I recall.
We recruited Leon.
Yes, I recall.
Mm-hmm. And with now he's the big singer now, you know. He can play guitar. I'm not organ everything now, you know. He's the big singer in Italy, Rome.
Yes, so I understand.
Yes, I'm telling you. And he doesn't have that. You remember how he used to sing in that falsetto voice?
Right.
In a bass voice now. I said, what happened to the falsetto voice? And he used to be shy, you know. He ain't shy no more. He said he collected over $1,000 playing on the subway there.
Wow. Yeah, I remember you were being backed by was it Lloyd Parks and We the People band?
Yeah.
At the Cliff Theatre.
Went to Cliff Theatre, and Lloyd Parks and We the People we did
with Dean Fraser.
Baltimore with Dean Fraser. We did Baltimore. We did a lot of shows, you know.
Yeah.
So we did some shows too.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. If you're just tuning in, we're speaking with the one and only Robert Shrimpy Skipperdan Young, former Migos United stalwart, founder, big time baller, treasurer, secretary of the Hanover Football Association. And please like and subscribe and also share the link. This is the Brosis Foundation. We need your support. We're doing a lot of great things at Rusea High School. As I said before, we're building a state-of-the-art changing room facility to transform Rusea High School, not just Rusea High School, but as soon as this infrastructure is finished, we're hoping that we can have some night football down there at Rusea High School and get these kids off the street and can find something to do. We also just installed a new bathroom over there at the Columella Sports Complex for the public to use, for the students to use after they finish their physical education. We just renovate the frontal part of the entrance going into the Columella Sports Complex. We just renovate the sign, give the sign a beautification uplift. We install a power source over there at Rusea High School. We also build a brand new pump for the sprinkling system over the field there at Columella Sports Complex. We also donate some tablets. We also painted the entire campus at Rusea High School. We also created a domain, thanks to my Vice President, Mr. Norman Phillips, who is our IT guy, which we give all the 2,000 students plus 120 faculty staff at Rusea High School their own personalized email address in the height of the pandemic. So what does that do? So actually, when the kids were home and the teachers were home, we made that connection so the teachers and the students could communicate on a much faster level in terms of sharing information, sharing the technology, and also sharing their homework and information. So we're doing some great things, but we need your support in order for us to continue all these different initiatives at Rusea High School. So we have 10 minutes to go to wrap it up. I know you're enjoying Skipper Dan. If you guys need a part 2, just let us know just in the chat. So let me just go back to the chat and then we'll continue for another 10 minutes. Ayat says Rani and Everton was instrumental. Mr. Kenwood Connell, wasn't Bongo, Jeff, Nash, Keith, and Bengeleng a part of the team also? I know Nash and Keith, I don't remember Bengeleng.
Bengeleng. No,
Bengeleng is Reno.
Reno. We went. What happened is that we used to go to Kirkvine every year. And we went up there one year and we didn't go with a team. We usually went with a team, with our team. And Bengeleng asked us if we can play with them. And guess what? We played with them and we won the competition. Me, Fan, couple of us.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Fan,
a few
couple
others.
Yeah.
That's it, and that's how he comes into it, because
Errol Mitu is also on. He says, since never seen National League since you gone.
Of course.
Yeah, son. So
Not done with, man.
Ayat again says, yes, Black Velvet. But John, you're only talking about the singing part of it. A lot of people, it just us who grew up with Skipper. He was a wicked dancer. You remember the scan, the split.
That was my highlight, sir.
Everybody got to concert to see those things.
I don't do split. I nothing going on.
But I'm thinking a little bit. I mean, this is something that going back to serious business now, Robert.
Yeah.
But we've been singing this tune for a little while now on various programs, and has to do with the paucity of football and football systems in the parish, in Rusea and in the parish. Back in your time, coming up through your time, it was very, you describe it as very vibrant, 6, 7 teams, you know,
Yes.
corner leagues, under 12 sides.
Every year.
Fast track to 2024, this 24 now. And
Yeah.
there is
There's
almost an
a void.
absence of all of that. I mean, if you go to the Watson Taylor Park, you might find the grass knee high. What do you think may have contributed to all of that? And how do you think we can try to recapture or redevelop some of what was then? What do you think has happened, and how can we better it?
First of all,
Good point, John.
First of all, we got to get rid of the current administration first, and then everything will come after.
But you're going to need leaders, though. You're going to need people. Because the other thing I want to ask you, during your time again, who are the I think you can half answer it, but who are the, should I say, the role models that you would have looked up to? And because people look up to you as a role model back in the time, youngsters. Who was it that you looked up to? In other words, what is it that we need to do to revive all of that?
I understand. That's a very good question. And I would say, get rid of the administration, then get some good leaders, get some good people that thinking people to bring back first the corner league and then the other competitions. Simply enough. And get some sponsors. That's the next thing. God, Ray and Nephew used to sponsor our Division 2. We used to have a Division 2 here.
Okay.
Yes,
I didn't realize that.
Legend came about. Legend. And yes.
Okay.
Because I think even some of the country teams that used to play in Division 2 as well.
Them was D2. It was D2 that.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Okay. So Skipper Dan, because actually, as you know, a lot of things changed since our time, right? Especially with these young youths now. What would you say to them in regards to getting involved in some programs, as what John says, to actually bring back the actual football in the parish? And John brought up a good point, because actually you can't bring back football with the youth unless there's good administrative structure. So if we elect Robert Shrimpy Young tomorrow as the president of the Anova Football Federation Association, what would be your first 3 initiatives that you'll put in place to get this thing off the ground?
The first thing is I will be looking sponsors so that we can have money to organize and to centralize things, because that's what this administration is not doing. We don't have not even a sandy base. Look at sandy base. We used to have 2 sides, Hopewell.
Yeah, man. Big up to Yaki and Swelly and the Livingston brothers. Hopewell too. Hopewell, Teddy Fallis, Becky, Planting, and those guys.
Look at that. And we used to have 5 teams in Lucy. Can you imagine that? Where are they now? All by the wayside.
I want to say, I know we're closing, but I just want to say again that my own little way, that I think this is why the program, the project undertaken by Brosis is such a critical thing, and I cannot believe in it. One, because I think times have changed now. You know, kids not going to go on a tree again and drop no dues
Eh,
in a pan, 10 cent, 20 cent again in a pan to play ball. You have to
no,
now have other things in place, facilities in place to kind of, first of all, to grab their attention and to ensure that they are taken care of, you know, along the way. And this is why I really lift my hat to the Brosis Foundation for starting that project down there with the changing room, because there's none. There's none nowhere at all.
no.
There's nowhere. You still have to change under the tree, you know. So I'm happy that they have begun this, and I say I hope this can be used as a kind of catalyst or part of you know, the system that will revive the football. And as you rightly said, Robert, start with little leagues, and you know, the little corner leagues, and involve youth. You know, bring them in, the under 12, the under 15, and it's almost like you're going to be rebuild.
That's what we got
It's rebuilding, because during the time you were able to draw, as you said, from youngsters around the parish who wasn't doing anything much anyway, and that's how you formed Negus.
That's how
Rector was able to form Rector with the same crop of youth again.
Exactly.
So where are they? You know, everybody have phone in hand now.
Yeah, I know we're about to wrap up, but we have a lot of people still coming in. Like Ayat says, family, keep up the good work, enough love. Briggy, Dave Johnson said he sell a lot of peanuts, Skipper Dan, to raise funds for Negos. So you know, that's what he says. Arlene is also saying, John and Skipper, that it is not about sponsorship, you know, and he's saying that the children needs a good role model, you know. So, and I think it's important to know as well as we're wrapping up, because I know my IT guy Norwin is he wants to wrap up, but that's why we're stressing the importance of this project. But that's just phase one in the project, and I want people to actually vision what we're trying to do at Rusea High School. Now, when we complete project one, which includes the changing room facility, it also have a lounge area, but it also have a conference room. And a lot of people are saying, why a conference room? And we're saying, why not a conference room? Because actually, if you have a conference room, then if you have corporate Jamaica, corporate America, or for corporate from anywhere want to utilize a good conference room, it's there, but they have to pay a fee to utilize the conference room. So any funds that generated from that will go back into the project and back into Rusea High School. Now, I was watching the TV the other day, and I want to be brief. I think Rusea's entered school challenge quiz, and they didn't do well. And the first thing that came to my mind is that maybe if we have a dorm where the kids them can camp and study at night, you know how much impact that will make for the students. Instead of the teacher hurrying in the evening, they might have the team. Because remember, you know, the school challenge is a team. So if you have 4 kids there, but if they have to rush to go home in the evening, and if you have them in a camp for a month or 2 months to actually study, for prepare for that school challenge quiz, they could do wonders. Same thing for the track and field, same thing for football. We want to also revive back cricket and netball at Rusea High School. Currently, there's no cricket there. Currently, there's no netball there at Rusea High School. So another important thing, John and Skipper Dan, before we also leave, is that the youths, you remember Stowa? You're a good friend, Stowa, Skipper Dan.
Yes,
used to have us at Watson Taylor Park. I remember, may soul rest in peace, Jabs at Prosper, Moneyman. Used to have a lot of youth from different community and get them together, train them in a uniform manner. So we need to go back to the kids them and try develop and change their mindset, but they need a place, a safe haven where they can go and execute.
Exactly.
Final thoughts, John, and then I'll have Skipper Dan final thoughts.
Well, let me just, kind of just say that, well, certainly want to thank Robert for sharing some of his, the insights and so on. But I'm just hoping that I'm sure you're in touch with other old students and past students and so on of Rusea's. And I was saying to you that I sincerely hope that we can all just put things together, cooperate, collaborate towards reviving the football culture in the parish one, and more so in at Rusea's, reviving that culture of not just football but sport on a whole, but certainly football has been what our flagship thing. And I'm saying to you, you reach out to your people as best as you can, a little phone call here and there, to other people of your era to come on board, and help with that project such as this, So yeah, I'll stop it there. But yeah, just a little more corporate collaboration and cooperation from everyone,
Yeah, we have 2 minutes because we're cut off at the 8:15 mark. And if you want a part two with Skipper Dan, then just give us a nod up and we can give a part two, because we haven't even touched the surface yet, Skipper Dan, right? Because we haven't touched your travels to Westmoreland. We haven't touched your travels to Montego Bay when, Negos versus the Seba, Negos versus the Wadada, you against Alcock, you against Creature, you against Noah Sterling, you against Cecil Pringle at Reno. So we haven't touched the surface yet. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you need a part two, just give a thumbs up. One thing, Skipper, before I leave. Miss Shauna Dunkley, blessing Brosis family. Real talk, Skipper. Real talk, Skipper. Right. We need to get back to the basic fundamentals, like better playing fields and more engagement with the youths. That's Shauna Dunkley. See, she's on. She just lost her dad this week. Elvis Swilly Miller, Skipper Dan. Elvis Swilly Miller from Sandy Bay. Respect, Skipper. Never knew you were a Russian. I had a few encounters with you while playing for Sandy Bay against Negos in my prime. Yeah, and Kenwood Colonel, we have to incentivize the youth. So, final thoughts, Skipper Dan.
Well, I want to thank you, sir, for honoring me before I leave this godforsaken place, and give thanks to you, sir, for honoring me and for highlighting the good and the bad, what was going on then and what's going on now. So, I agree with all of your suggestions, and I hope we can keep it up. Facilities first, and then, we move on from there. Thank you, sir.
But Skipper, we can't let it go, you have to give us even one tune,
but John, not only that, a lot of people, John, before you sing us out, Skipper Dan, a lot of people didn't know that Skipper Dan own a record shop,
Oh yes.
That was a long time ago, buddy.
Yes, you run a record shop. I didn't remember that,
Yes, right across from his father.
Yes, I did not remember that at all.
It was myself and Brigadier used to run it for him. And Briggy used to go with a little bag, go to Kingston, go to Moody's and all those places to purchase record and come back down. So, yeah, man. So Skipper Dan did own a record shop, man. People, if you didn't know that, yeah. Skipper, where are you? Yeah.
I'm here. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, viewers around the world, we have come to the conclusion of paying homage to my good friend and somebody that I grew up. This gentleman taught me so much as a little youth, because I used to go upstairs to Mass Ronnie, and himself and Ayat, Frankman, Marshall, all of those guys, as a little youth, we used to go and them just have me around them, So actually, I couldn't be this person right now without Skipperdan and Ayat and all those guys. Because I grew up around a lot of Rastafarians, you know, but one thing I know that they taught us well as youth. They were our role model back then and still our role model now. So the Brosis Foundation could never see a person like Robert Shrimpy Young and don't pay homage, because we know exactly what you have done, what you have brought to Lucy, to Hanover, and your parents as well. So we just want to say a big thank you to you and to your family. Best of health, stay strong, and we'll keep in touch. Rusea's Brosis, viewers of around the world, thanks for tuning in. And John, you have anything to say before we leave?
I'm waiting for the song. I'm waiting for a tune, you know.
All right, so take us out.
All is well, all is well, all is well.
I gotta go call Fragman.
Black Velvet.
I gotta go call Fragman.
Yeah, all is well, man. Give thanks.
All right, so thank you. And thanks to my IT team, Norwin and Carlin in the background, and to all my Brosis members, directors. Keep up the good work. Let's keep moving. Let's keep building and support March 29th or Fish Fry, Memorial Day weekend, colors, and blue and white, August 16th and 17th of August. So make it a date. Don't be late. We're out.